Usually people don't use my first name. It's just Mack because it's way simpler and you don't make any spelling mistakes. My role in this particular event in time is unknown to me. I try to help out with previously gathered knowledge about the art or the fine art of recording noise and noise made into sort of music, and hopefully people tap their feet. That's and maybe with a little bit of a message saying "fuck you." That question is very simple to answer. It's much more fun because fun is when it becomes professional. You have to work harder, and here you have to enjoy yourself harder, which sort of makes it all worthwhile. I think that's the current lineup of Liquid Meat is the best it's ever been. It's flowery. You've got three different, entirely different personalities, and Manu, she has her own style of drumming, and is actually very good at it. And Max on the bass is, he doesn't make mistakes. He's as a character, he's like the counter, the opposite of what Freddie is, and that's what I told him in the first place. Many moons ago, I said, if only you had a backbone to rely on, then you can hop around, somersault, cartwheels, do whatever you like, be in tune, out of time, it doesn't matter. The backbone's steady, and the whole thing will rock, and that's where we're at now. The idea of doing 30 songs in a short, or whatever, how many, 25 or something, in the period of 6 days, I thought it was nuts. But since everything was arranged and the studio fell into place, and things just happened, I thought I put my better knowledge just on the back burner and go with the flow, and see what happens. I thought about this project more. If I'd gone in with say Van Halen or Deep Purple or Rolling Stones or anybody, I wouldn't have thought twice, how to go about it, because I'm used to working that style. But here, I woke up at night and thought, how do I do it? What can I bring to the table? I can't do it stock. It's impossible. It would be just, it would be a recording, but the recording per se, I decided, to leave it as natural as is, get the vibe, and but still, get big hairy balls to the sound, and without resorting to samples, and of course, I'll have to finesse it a bit, but I think I'm very confident that I got something which sounds very natural, and it sort of just jumps out of the speakers. The difference being universe in time, style, and attitude, and just everything's completely different. In the beginning, obviously, try to help get sort of professional backing in terms of drums, and simply because there wasn't really the experience there, and you try to help out without compromising too much the style. That has been the biggest issue, actually, to me. A lot of these things I do not understand because basically I'm too old. I have a different taste in music, which is pretty much no taste. Now we are, I guess, at a point where I really would say that Freddie is a true turned into a true professional, because I mean, he kept showing me stuff, and I just hinted out, might be better to leave that off or add something here, and he heeded my advice, so sue me. I think it really hasn't changed all that much. I mean, he's become more fluent, and he's got different sources of inspiration, sort of Lemmy-wise, or and he likes it loud and in your face, and I think the most dramatic change is lyrically, where he actually really has something to say, and he has a message, just apart from "fuck you." He's become politically, much deeper, and just realizes. I mean, I guess it's out of own experience, if you send out 200 resumes and all you get is the middle finger, then you start having your doubts with the system, and all the schoolmates and everybody around him sort of suffer the same. I mean, basically they are the first generation who are a lot worse off than their parents were at the same time, because I mean, we had something to look forward to, that things get better, and they have something to look forward to, that everything turns to shit. The way this session was put together is, I mean, that's going back like 40 or nearly 50 years. I don't think anybody really has done anything like it. This is old school recording at its finest. We have the finest console behind me, and it was good enough for Michael Jackson, Bruce Swedien, and obviously myself, and we probably done more hits on that put together than a lot of people, sort of dreaming, if I had a knee. That doesn't do it. I mean, you have to know the horse you're riding. It was a lot of planning and working out, and how to do things, and that everybody was pulling through was, just. I mean, I would put it in the vicinity of a miracle, because, I mean, first of all, I didn't think the money would come together. I would have put money on. Actually, the money I put on of not getting it together, I actually donated, and so that the songs came together, and the new songs, I think we got a couple of really, really good ones, which actually, could be sort of mainstreamish. They're fun, they got a rhythm, and they got a message, so, what more do you want? Overall, that Freddie had the guts and the stamina to sing 30 songs, and you don't, I mean, I didn't sort of realize any fatigue, or bleeding in the throat or anything. Also, when you hear it, I mean, the energy in there is something you'd want with everything you do. It's a good thing it came together, and also, being like totally out in the woods, and the effort of going back and forth. We've done, I think, by tonight we'll have done about 800 miles, and maybe if there's a piece of video, we're going down with like 140 miles an hour on the motorway, and people giggling and looking at nude pictures in the back. And I'm concentrating after the in studio, and I thought maybe I should go a little slower, but you need some sleep too, and I'm an old fart. What was the question?